and look at the gale of defections from the PDP to the APC. We've asked this question before to PDP, stalwarts. What exactly is happening while we're seeing this much defection from the PDP to the APC? But this time we're not necessarily talking to someone who, is from any particular political party, at least not as far as we know. We will be discussing the danger of this with political analyst and forensic psychologist Dr. Lomefo. Dr. Lomefo, very good to have you with us this morning.
The pleasure is always mine. Thank you.
All right, let's begin immediately with Dr. Mefo. How come is it that these defections is only between the ruling party and the main opposition? We hardly see people defecting from the APC or from the PDP to parties like maybe the YPP or other political parties. Maybe let's just start from there.
I think the situation is worrisome, but not unanticipated.
Okay.
Because if you check the configuration of Nigerian democracy, you will see that there are at least 3 big gates wide open for, crisscrossing of political party members from one port to the other. And you also asked why is the gale of the faction not affecting the other minute political parties? Yeah, because they are minute. They are inconsequential, as far as I am concerned. You see, if you understand how Nigerian politics is run, especially how elections are won, and elections, especially at the presidential level, if you do not control the state machinery, you cannot produce the president. That's a fact. By that I mean, production of Nigerian president as at now is controlled by the governors of the states. The reasons are there. I'll come to it later. If you move from a party that controls governors to a party that has no chancellor anywhere, what are the prospects? What are you doing there, really? And if you're flying their flag also at any level, even at presidential level, it is just for 2 reasons. To make a personal statement and show up your CV. You can't go beyond it. That's a fact. So that is one major reason why you don't find people moving from APC to PDP. Now, from APC and PDP to the other smaller parties. Now, you have gale of the factions between APC and PDP, but more from PDP to APC. Yeah, because you can't say people don't move from APC to PDP. Last night I read, and I hope it's not fake, that Senator Sani moved from APC to PDP. I'm here to confirm that. But I read that widely yesterday, and I haven't seen a statement put out there by him saying that it is not true. Now, why do we have politicians moving in this manner with reckless abandon? I think I have 3 reasons for it. Number 1, there is no extant laws, regulations in place to, sort of regulate the conduct of politicians. Fidelity, for example, even in a town union, for you to enjoy what we call financial benefits of a town union, right? You need to have stayed in that town union in organizations generally for maybe 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. Is always stipulated. You don't find this in political party constitutions. Even where you have that in political party constitutions, they take it away by having a counteracting provision that says that the NEC or the National Working Committee can grant a waiver. Once you do that, poaching becomes inevitable. Look at what is happening in Anambra now. People who lost primaries have migrated to smaller parties to pick their flags, not because they hope to win, but because they want to punish the party that denied them ticket. And again, do you really blame them as such if the parties did not actually allow them to, it did not allow free and fair election? Let me give you an example. When you say that a serving honorable member of Federal House of Representatives is not qualified to contest for your party ticket, for governorship, you make nonsense of the extant provisions of the Nigerian Constitution. Do you understand the point? So now, there is even a much more serious factor why the migration, the traffic is heavier on the side of the PDP to APC. Apart from controlling the state machinery, all the accoutrements of office, all favors that can be dispensed to individuals is controlled, because in Nigerian party politics, the winner takes all. People are hungry. People want to move to where they can put food on their table.
All right, Mr. Mefo, Dr. Mefo.
Thank you.
You did say earlier that, you know, the internal party mechanism in a lot of these parties are flawed, which is why disgruntled, you know, members will want to defect. In the recent case of Femi Fani-Kayode, who was received yesterday by President Muhammadu Buhari into the party, what will be his reason? I think in the political landscape, Femi Fani-Kayode is the one who has spewed the worst kind of, you know, negative comments on the APC, and to see him go back and join the APC, really.
I listened to FFK yesterday, offer reasons why he is leaving PDP to return to his former party. Don't forget that he was coming from that side, you know. I believe that the reason for FFK's defection is not far-fetched. And he didn't quite, he was being, I should say, clever by half. You know, he was delivering half-truths, as far as I am concerned. FFK is more concerned with his own safety. He's more concerned with, you know, his own, what I may call a comfort, right? What Peter Ayodele Fayeshe, governor then, you know, called the stomach infrastructure. That's the way I see it.
But he has come out to say that it has nothing.
Well, you don't expect him to say that, you know, it has to do. You know, he has to find a socially acceptable reason to give you and I. But I think the first reason I offered is even far more important. There was something Adams Oshomole, APC national chairman, said then, that you say you come to APC and your sins are forgiven. That statement is very fundamental, and that is what is at play. You see, FFK has had a running battle with EFCC. His case is still there, it's not discharged. If he knows that he has nothing to do with stomach infrastructure, and he has nothing to do with the case he has with the EFCC, he should have waited for that case to be dispensed with. He did it, and he was received by the president. My disappointment in this whole thing is the president receiving people whose cases are before the court, corruption cases. And we brought you in as the president to cure corruption. And you're here, glamorizing it.
But,
yes.
but those who are under trial, you know, are presumed innocent.
Yes, I know.
They are found
presumed,
guilty.
yes.
Exactly. And you also have to understand that the president is first a politician.
No, I agree. I agree with that. President is a politician, you know, questionably so, because himself doesn't even want to see himself as a politician.
But he's a politician.
Because he contested the election. There are statesmen, there are politicians. There are men who are in politics, but they are not necessarily politicians. And I want to see President Muhammadu Buhari in that light. He's not a typical everyday politician. It's not.
These defections, are they really based, Dr. Mefo, based on your experience? You know, you've said a lot. Are they really based on the conviction about, the ideology of the benefiting political party?
Ideology.
Or it's principally about realignment for political relevance? Which
what we have, you see, thank you for bringing this up. First and foremost, the word ideology is essentially lacking in today's democratic dispensation in Nigeria. There's no ideology. In fact, PDP and APC are two sides of the same coin. I can't even tell who is in APC now and who is in PDP and who is migrating tomorrow and who is returning. It is that bad. And like I said, it's essentially for the fact that there is no ideology and there is also no guide and provisions to compel party members to show fidelity for a specific amount of time before they will be able to benefit, before they will be able to fly the flag. There is no ideology. And that is why I have argued, even here, that what you have in Nigeria is not yet a democracy. It's a civilian rule. A democracy is predicated on party politics. And party politics is predicated on ideology. In absence of ideology, there is no party politics. What you have is just party arrangement, a platform for winning elections. In other words, what you have as membership of political parties has nothing to do with ideological leanings. What we are doing now is not any better than what IDB put in place when he legislated, when he decreed, rather, SDP and then NRC into existence, two-party system, republicanism and democratic leanings. These are ideological divides, and you don't find it here. PDP is not leaning towards republicanism, neither is he leaning towards democratic mass socialist orientation, and the same thing for APC. And until you have this, until you have that distinction, contradistinction, you will not be able to predict what will happen. In other words, what obtains today is just the struggle for power, to grab power at any level for whatever protection, for whatever favor, for whatever comfort he offers.
So talking
that's essentially so.
Talking about power, Dr. Mefo, I want to take us back again to the defection of former Minister of Aviation Femi Fani-Kayode. Usually, calculations, political calculations, before a party will poach someone to come over to their side, most likely because they see the value that the person can bring. What, if you look at it, what political advantage would APC have for, poaching Femi Fani-Kayode?
I'll tell you in a nutshell. FFK has one thing going for him. I wouldn't say he's loquacious because he's quite articulate. He has a way he pushes an argument. He is somebody you would rather have as a friend rather than as an enemy. So that is the value APC is looking for. And beyond that, APC is trying to pave the way for Jonathan. FFK is, Jonathan's
what do you mean by that? You want to take that again?
I'll give you. See, you see, APC is trying to pave the way for former President Goodluck Jonathan.
To do what?
To join their ranks. They've said that they've visited him a number of times. Even days ago, they did and made it public that they are ready to offer him the platform to contest.
The former president is yet to take a position on that.
It
remains in the realm of speculation.
Yes, of course, that's it. It's speculative. Yeah. The way even FFK denied that he was heading to PDP when Governor Bello, Yahya Bello, announced that he was coming. You recall?
Yes.
FFK came out and told the world, "Oh no, forget it."
Maybe by that time he was not too sure.
That's the same thing. What we are saying is that it's no longer speculative that APC wants Jonathan. What is still speculative is whether Jonathan would go to APC. And I tell you, going by the way things have been unfolding or unraveling in our politics in contemporary times, I would not be surprised if President Jonathan joins APC. Rather, I would not be surprised nor will I blame him also.
Well,
because the system does not, yes, I will not.
That's a decision for the former president.
Sure, it's a position for him to take. And,
sorry, maybe I want to take you up on why you will not blame him. This is the man that was president on the platform of the PDP, and in fact, all of his political career was, you know, at the PDP. A lot of people, you know, party pundits will still say that a lot of party members still hold their loyalty to President Goodluck Jonathan because of the singular act of, you know, after the 2015 election, peacefully exiting office and letting President Muhammadu Buhari rather than contest the result of the election. So why would you not blame him?
I wouldn't blame him because, like I said before, you don't have party system in the real sense of the word. APC and PDP, one and the same, as far as I am concerned.
So why move?
That's a fact. Why not move? That should be the question.
So why would the APC want the former president? What do you think is the strategy?
Electoral values.
What do you think is the strategy?
The strategy, three things. One, constitutionally, Jonathan wouldn't qualify to contest for more than one more time. And it's easy for them to push him. If he does, he goes for one term and can fight for the power back. That's a good reason, don't you think? And he has very serious electoral value. Whether you like it or not, they are pushing that as one wage to stop the ongoing campaign for the production of Nigerian president of Southeast extraction. Jonathan should support the Southeast. That's what I would advise him to do. That's what he has to do now. If he does that, it will be more ennobling. If he doesn't, I still wouldn't blame him.
All right, let's go back to Fani Kayode. You know, Sanami has said about how he has been very vocal in criticizing the government of the day and the party in power. Incidentally, he has joined the APC. He has been out of the APC, really. Do you think Fani Kayode can be trusted even within the ranks of the APC, considering his incidents?
Can any politician be trusted? I'm not sure I can trust any politician, and that is why I'm not one. You know, you see, that is why I prefer to talk about statesmen and not politicians. Politicians are after power, and it's not the Nigerian thing. And that is why you need very rigid laws, regulations to guide their conduct. If you don't do that, they will become jumpologists.
Can electoral reforms really address this problem of defection?
It has to. Electoral reforms must address such things. Electoral reforms must guarantee internal party democracy and remove the overarching power of the neck of political parties to nominate candidates, regardless of what happens at the primaries. You need to remove that. Power must return to the people. You see, PDP says power to the people. It's not true. It's only a slogan. Power is not with the people. You know why? Internal party democracy means that the party members will determine who flies their flag. It's not so. Who determines it today is the neck of the political
So
parties.
how do you use laws and guidelines, you understand, to stop a person from moving from party A to party B?
It's simple now. Very, very simple. If you say that no member of political party will fly the party flag unless he stays there for, say, 2 years, right? And you cancel the issue of waiver, nobody would want to move. Give me the reason the Anambra gubernatorial candidates who lost in the primaries would want to move to other political parties since they know they will have to wait for 2 whole years. So law can guarantee that. If you do so, that fidelity to the political process will be guaranteed. You pay your dues, you come and queue up. When you pay your dues and contribute to the party, understand the principles and dynamics of the party, you can represent them truly. What is happening now is not what obtains in a decent, organized democracy anywhere in the world. Right. Ours is different.
Ours is indeed different. But if let's look at stay with the issue of electoral reforms. Of course, you know of the debates and the transmission of results electronically. This is being everywhere. We know that from the House of Representatives to the Senate, not all the 52 senators didn't, were opposed to that transmission, electronic transmission of results, and is still hanging there. President Muhammadu Buhari went to Imo State and said that he's going to leave a legacy of free and fair and credible election, at least like the one that brought him into power. And he says that he wants the electronic transmission of results, to be used in the forthcoming elections. The president has said this. Do you think that, his party members will align to what the president has said to make sure that we're able to actually have credible electronic elections that will take us out of the rigging of elections?
I said it once, I think here, that the #1 lawmaker is the president in a presidential democracy. There's what we call executive bills. Executive bills are bills of the president. Bills of the executive arm of government, which the president presides over, pushed in there on his behalf by the Attorney General. It means that legislative process in that National Assembly has to be driven by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He has to push it. If he wants electronic transfer of votes and electronic collation of results, it is possible. If he puts his foot down, that this has to be done, he can blackmail the National Assembly. He can call the National Assembly out openly that this is what they ought to do so that the Nigerians would know where the problem lies. Do you get the point? It's very fundamental. And let me tell you, without electronic transfer of results and collation, there will be no free, fair, credible elections. You know why? Our politicians wait between voting and collation to alter the results.
Do you think the president, is in tune with the position of the National Assembly on this Electoral Act Amendment Bill with regards to the issue of electronic transmission of results? Because, like Sana said earlier, the president has, at various fora, said that, of course, he was brought in through, a process that was strengthened by technology.
The president knows, in fact, where the National Assembly has stopped thus far is in the public domain. The president knows that the Senate wants the NCC to validate, right? To tell INEC whether they can transmit, right? House of Reps is saying a different thing. Harmonization is yet to take place. The only word that needs to be inserted in the prescription of the position of the House of Reps is the word may, right? Once you insert that, you return the power, the discretionary power to INEC to decide where it is possible to transmit results. Do you understand what I'm saying? You see, legitimately, let's grant that we have not achieved 100% internet penetration in Nigeria. And since we have not achieved 100% internet penetration in Nigeria, the word may becomes inevitable. That means, maybe you can add on advice of NCC, but that is not even necessary. Because if they need the advice, they know where to get it. Do you get the point? And
besides, INEC has not said that it has any challenge.
INEC does not have any challenge. It's those who know they can't win. They can't win to return to House of Reps, to return to the Senate. They are the ones pushing this. And the president will have to get them to do the right thing. We need electronic transfer of results.
All right.
Once you do that, Nigerian masses will pick the leaders that they want.
Dr. Lomefo, thank you very much for your time and for having this conversation with us. Always a pleasure to have you here. But
thank you.
We have to let you go now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for checking out Symphony on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.